Hello students, welcome to this lecture. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about the methods of finding out the voltage regulation using EMF method and MMF method. So EMF method is using the EMF quantities to find out the voltage regulation, and MMF method is using the MMF quantities in order to find out the uh, voltage regulation. So since we know from the previous video that armature resistance drop and the armature leakage reactance drop are going to be the main cause for voltage drop in an alternator. So these two, that is the armature resistance drop and the armature leakage reactance drop, are going to be the EMF quantities. But the another cause which do the voltage drop in an alternator is going to be our armature reaction. So basically it is an MMF quantity. So the MMF method has taken all the steps to find out that particular armature reaction. But still, the value of the even though the value of the uh, voltage regulation which is found out in the MMF method is going to be a correct one, but that is not an exact one. So in order to find out the exact one, we are going to use this particular zero power factor method, that is ZPF method, or it can be said as an Portier triangle method. In this method, we are going to separate the armature leakage reactance and the armature reaction effect. So what are all the portion of the contribution which is given for this particular voltage drop separately? That is leakage reactance as separate one and armature reaction as separate one. So we are going to separate them in this particular Portier triangle method. The armature leakage reactance, which is called as this particular Portier reactance. So here, in order to find out this particular armature leakage reactance, we are going to do two types of test. Actually, three types of test. What we are going to do is we are going to do the open circuit test first. So how to do this particular open circuit test is we will be connecting our that is the stator of our alternator as open one, and we will be connecting the voltmeter over here. And if you are giving the DC supply to the field, and if you are giving that particular DC supply and getting the rated voltage, we will be getting the step by step increase in the voltage, and from that we can find out the OCC characteristics. So first we will be getting the OCC characteristics. Afterwards, what we are going to do is we are going to just connect our purely reactive load, that can be a purely inductive load. So why we are using this particular purely inductive load means we are going to find out the value of the uh, reactance which has been done in this particular purely reactive load. So since it is going to be a purely inductive load, we will be getting the zero power factor value of this particular short circuit current. So since we know from the MMF method discussion, if you are getting that particular short circuit test result, in that from that short circuit result we can find out the value of the IF, that is the field current, which is required to overcome the demagnetizing effect of the particular armature reaction. So that is clear from our previous discussion of MMF method. So we are going to use that particular concept over here also. So first we will be finding out the short circuit value of this uh, particular terminal characteristics of the stator. So from that we will be increasing this particular reactive load. So from increasing this particular reactive load, the voltage will be getting increased, and current will also going to get increased. So we are going to read these two values whenever we are increasing our load. So we will be getting the voltage to be increased, and current is also going to be increased. So after getting these values, we are going to plot that value as a ZPF curve. So since we know we are getting the particular short circuit test value from the short circuit test, or from this particular reactive load itself. So since if we are having this particular reactive load as high as possible, then we will be getting the short circuit test value. So we will be reading that particular short circuit test value over here as a point A. So from the ZPF reading, we can draw this particular ZPF curve. Since we know we will be drawing the OCC curve from the OCC characteristics readings, we can draw that one. After that, if you draw the tangent to this particular line, it will be called as the air gap line. So that air gap line will be drawn next. So after drawing this particular air gap line, we need to measure what is the value of OA over here. So this particular value is going to be the zero terminal voltage at the full load short circuit current. So at the short circuit current, what is the value of the field current to supply that particular uh, short circuit current? So that we will be reading. So after reading this, we will be drawing a particular line which is equivalent to this OA, the distance of OA. We will be drawing the line PQ on the rated voltage of the alternator. So at the value of the particular rated V phase, we will be drawing an the parallel line to the x-axis on the value of OA. So PQ and the OA will be equal. So after drawing this line, we need to draw a parallel line to this particular air gap line. So that parallel line is given as RQ over here. So that parallel line will be touching the OCC at R. So after getting this particular point, we can join PR and RS like we have shown in this particular figure. So what are the outcome from this particular Portier triangle? Because this RQP is going to be your Portier triangle. So from this Portier triangle, we can find out the value of the RS. The RS is going to be as given as a voltage drop of at the armature leakage reactance. So IXL will be the equivalent to this particular RS. So this PS will be giving the field current which is necessary to overcome the demagnetizing armature reaction. So this is the value of the particular uh, uh, this is the value of the particular field current which is required to overcome the demagnetizing armature reaction, which is equivalent to the IF2 or FAR, which we have found out in the MMF method. So this SQ will be the IF which is required to induce the EMF which is balancing the leakage reactance. So from this particular diagram itself, we can find out the values of the field current which are required to supplying the armature reaction and the leakage reactions. So from this diagram, we can come to a conclusion that from this Portier triangle, we can find out the values of IF which are required to supply to the armature reaction and to supply to the leakage reactance. So from these particular IF values, we can find out the value of the value of the EMF which is required from this particular values. So from these new values we can find out the value of the voltage regulation which is a exact one of the particular machine. So the next is going to be ASA method. So ASA method is an important one, and this ASA method is abbreviated as American Standard Association's method. From this method we can find this particular method cannot be applied to the salient pole alternators because it is not correct to combine the field ampere turns and the armature ampere turns for an salient pole alternator, so that it will be not used for salient pole alternators. Also, from the previous methods whichever we have studied in the previous videos too, EMF and MMF methods will be taking the account of the magnetic circuit is not being saturated, but that is not a realistic one. So that is not a realistic one in practice. So we need to get the realistic um, realistic voltage regulation in order to use that particular alternator in practice. So we need to find out that particular realistic voltage regulation by having the saturation data. So it is not possible to completely unsaturate a magnetic circuit. So we need to find out the value of the saturated one. So that saturated value of the MMF which we need to find out can be found out from the extension of the particular phasor diagram of an MMF method. So what we really will be doing is we will be having the particular OCC curve. So in the OCC curve we will be drawing the air gap line. Since we know the value of the particular MMF method where we have found out that particular E1 phase value, so that will be equivalent to the terminal voltage when the particular machine is open circuited. So from this particular diagram we can find out that particular E phase value. So from that E phase value, if you are finding out that particular E phase value from this particular diagram, it will be cutting in the B point in the B dash point in the particular air gap line and B in the air gap line and B dash in the OCC curve. So from this particularly we can find out the value of the particular gap between the saturated point and the unsaturated point, because the airline will be giving the unsaturated point and this particular point will be giving the saturated point. So if you're finding out this particular value, this will be giving the value of the field current which is required to saturate the particular device. So after getting this value, so if you are going to add this value to the value which we have got in the MMF method, if you are adding that particular IF value with this particular B dash IF value, we will be getting the new IF value. So from that new IF value we can find out the value of the E phase. So from that we can find out the value of the voltage regulation. Thank you.